This is LaserBolt and welcome to today's video, guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 3 Anomaly rounds, Twisted Rounds, Blighted Rounds, and Volcanic Rounds. And we are going to be doing a comparison and kind of coming to a conclusion which one is the best one out of all 3. I know you guys saw my Twisted Rounds BR versus BR or Blighted Rounds video. I saw a couple questions in there, and thankfully, guys, I was able to get access to the Volcanic Rounds. And now I'm able to tell you guys which one's better and why. If you want to find out which is the best one, then you're definitely going to want to make sure you stay tuned to the video. So if all this sounds like something you're definitely interested, a like would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget about our monthly giveaway. It is pinned in the pinned comment. Good luck to everybody that's participating. So let's take a look at the rounds. I'm going to read off what the rounds do, just in case of new players, and also so you guys can kind of understand exactly what's happening when you're using these rounds. So let's start off with the first one, which is Twisted Rounds. Twisted Rounds fills your current weapon magazine with Anomaly-infused bullets that increase your firepower by 118. The skill lasts until you reload or switch your weapons. Now let's take a look at Blighted Rounds. Blighted Rounds fills your current weapon magazine with Decay-infused bullets that inflict toxic on your enemies. Enemies within a small radius of the main target also receive toxic and 50% of damage. The skill lasts until you reload or switch weapons. The next one is called Volcanic Rounds. It says fill your current weapon magazine with anomaly-infused bullets that will inflict burn within a small radius and pierce targets, damaging enemies behind them. The skill lasts until you reload or switch your weapon. All right, so to do a quick summarize of exactly what these actually do, let's go ahead and pull up the stats. So for example, guys, Volcanic Rounds have anomaly-infused bullets, plus they inflict burn, and they also pierce targets. Twisted Rounds have anomaly-infused bullets, plus provide firepower, and increases that firepower by 118. Blighted Rounds has Decay-infused bullets. They inflict toxic and also damage enemies around you, and also apply toxic to these enemies. That's a complete breakdown of exactly what each one does. So how do we determine which one is better and which one is the worst? Well, it's time for us to figure out exactly how this particular items or these particular abilities get buffed when it comes to the game. Do they get buffed through anomaly? Do they get buffed through firepower? How can we maximize the full potential and give us the most DPS when using any of these rounds? Now, before we dive into anomaly power and firepower, we actually need to understand one important thing. How do enemies respond to bullets when we're actually shooting them? And I'm going to have a video coming up soon covering every single enemy and how they actually work. But each individual enemy has basically 2 main things. Number 1, it has a resistance to anomaly power, and it also has a physical damage resistance. And I already know what you guys are saying, Laser, but there's armor also. Yes, so the reason why I didn't include armor in the equation is because all anomaly-infused bullets negate the armor. So they bypass the armor. The armor has nothing to do with it. The only thing we got to worry about is resistance. Now, why is this important? Because physical resistance actually scales up in the game when you're fighting different enemies. Depending on the enemy you're fighting, it's going to scale up. The only thing that doesn't scale up, that actually stays static, is the resistance to anomaly power that the bosses or enemies are able to take. And this is where our bullets actually come into play, because since we are theoretically bypassing that armor protection, we only have to deal with resistance to anomaly power and resistance to physical damage. All right, so now that we understand how the enemies react, now let's talk about anomaly power versus firepower. So there are 2 particular things that actually happen when you use these bullets. Number 1 is that you guys are applying toxin, and also you guys are applying burn when using Volcanic Rounds and Blighted Rounds. Now, these actually take into account to boost up your status power based on your anomaly power. The only ones that don't apply any sort of status effect are the Twisted Rounds. Now, that being said, yes, anomaly power does help you get a little bit more damage to your bullets when the status effect is applied. It doesn't mean that it's going to enhance your bullets. It's only going to enhance the status that is being applied to the enemy. And the 2 bullets that are able to do this is, once again, Volcanic Rounds and Blighted Rounds. Now, in addition to that, Volcanic Rounds and Blighted Rounds have an extra feature which is called a ricochet mechanic. When I mean ricochet mechanic is when the bullet is being shot, it's allowing to apply toxin and burn to enemies that are surrounding him. And this is where these bullets kind of take a hit. Because currently right now in the game, and we're asking the devs to actually fix this, all ricochet mechanic bullets do not scale up with firepower or weapon damage. That is where the problem lies. Now, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about Twisted Rounds. Now, Twisted Rounds does not apply any ricochet effect. It only enhances your firepower when you're using the weapon. And it's also infused with anomaly bullets. Now, that being said, this is the only round that's able to take advantage of the anomaly power and firepower and weapon damage percent to boost the amount of damage that the bullet is actually doing. That is the biggest difference from all these rounds. The biggest difference is that Volcanic and currently Blighted rounds do not take advantage of the percentile you're able to get from firepower and weapon damage. Twisted Rounds is actually able to double dip and get advantage of the firepower that you're able to stack up, plus 50% of your anomaly power, which all weapons take 50% of the anomaly power. So overall in general, when we take a look at all the anomaly-infused rounds, we have to say that the one that's right now king is Twisted Rounds, because it's actually able to do the most DPS when actually being used. Now, I know what you guys are saying, Laser, but that's not fair. And I totally agree with you guys. We've talked to the devs. We've addressed the situation. Currently now, Blighted rounds are a little bit bugged, and they are going to get fixed when the game gets released. But I am hoping and praying that once we get a little bit further into the game and more people actually watch this video and more people get informed on how these actually work, we could probably get Volcanic rounds kind of in par with Twisted rounds, because it's theoretically doing the same effect, and also Blighted rounds. So not only will you be able to take advantage of the anomaly power that you currently have, but also take advantage of the firepower, just the way Twisted Rounds actually takes advantage of it. Now, I also know what some of you guys are thinking. Laser, what do you mean Blighted Rounds is bugged and Twisted Rounds is bugged as well? What exactly is bugged on it? Maybe you guys haven't noticed. Well, we were told that this is going to get fixed. Basically, guys, after some testing that we did, Twisted Rounds and Blighted Rounds are not adding the bonus weapon damage from Killing Spree nods. So currently right now, we are not getting, for example, we're using the Amber Bolt and getting that extra damage. It is not being applied to Twisted Rounds and Blighted Rounds. But this is going to get fixed and patched when the game gets released. So our Twisted Rounds, Blighted Rounds, and Volcanic Rounds should theoretically be doing more damage when the game is out. Overall, in general, guys, that is the breakdown of Blighted Rounds, Twisted Rounds, and Volcanic Rounds. Of course, once the game gets released and hopefully more people get in tune with it and find out what the difference is between all these three different kind of anomaly-infused rounds, we could probably get the other two buffed to come in par with Twisted Rounds. But right now, the king of them all is definitely Twisted Rounds. I hope you did find this video helpful and informative. If you did, do me the huge favor, guys. Drop a like. Make sure you drop a comment. If you guys have any suggestions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. Big shout out to all of you guys who have actually decided to join us over on our live streams. Thank you guys for all the support. Couldn't do this without you guys, so thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out the other two videos that are popping up on right now on the screen. They're very helpful and informative. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video.